Nobody gave TCU a shot versus Michigan last week, except for me here on Crane & Company and probably 3 other people and 2 aliens. And even though they were in the college football playoffs, there was still a cloud of doubt on whether or not they even deserved to be there. Well, they disproved that in a hurry against the Wolverines pretty quickly, and after catching a few breaks, they now find themselves going against a Georgia roster that is more loaded than an NRA convention in the national championship. Now, the Bulldogs are the better team, and Las Vegas agrees as the line opened at 13.5. TCU was able to sneak up on Michigan, which is evident considering Michigan quarterback J.J. McCarthy said they were going to turn the game into a smash fest if TCU ran their normal defensive structure. Now, will they be able to do the same against Georgia? In most circumstances, I'd probably say yes. But there's one big problem this time. Georgia not only played some close games during the regular season, including against Kent State, but they're coming off a subpar performance against the Buckeyes in the semifinal. They have a quarterback that went from rags to riches and is the ultimate underdog. They are impossible to sneak up on. I believe the game will play out as follows. TCU will come out hot early. I wouldn't be surprised if they're leading or tied after the first quarter, or it's really, really close. But then the switch will flip for Georgia. The Dogs won't make the crucial mistakes in crucial situations like the Wolverines did. This offensive line won't be confused by the 3-3-5 look, and the defense will shut down the run, making the Horned Frogs one-dimensional. TCU OC Garrett Riley will try to supplement that lack of run game with quarterback design runs for Max Duggan, Q Power, Power Reed, true 11-on-11 ball. And a few of them will pop, but it won't give them the push they need to keep Georgia off balance defensively. Eventually, the dam will break on the TCU defense like it did against Michigan, and this game will be over with 10 minutes to go in the fourth. TCU's had a hell of a story in 2022, but it stops Monday night. When you look at this TCU-Georgia matchup, Kirby has built Georgia, used the blueprint that Saban built at Alabama. It's not about who you're playing, it's about yourself. Obviously, there's a lot of hoopla. It's the national championship game. Georgia has the better team. I think we can agree with that. I do think it's going to be harder, as I mentioned, for TCU to sneak up on Georgia the way they did against Michigan. For TCU to win this game, which there is a shot for them to win this game. I mean, look, it's one game. We've seen what can happen in one game. I feel like the scramble drill plays are when the play breaks down, are Max Duggan recognizing its man and taking off. They are going to have to catch breaks like they did against Michigan. Georgia cannot play well. If Georgia plays well, I don't see TCU winning. But it's those scramble drill and broken down plays, not only for Max to take off and run, but find guys open. And we've seen Georgia's front seven get locked up like they did last week against Ohio State.
Like you said, Georgia's not going to play a perfect game. No one ever plays a perfect game. No team. TCU's not going to play a perfect game. What is the type of game Georgia has to play for TCU to be able to win the football game? That's what I'm asking, because all Kirby Smart has done over the past few years is shown in the biggest games, his team is always ready. They don't look past anyone for an entire game. They don't look past anyone for an entire play. The timeout call on that fourth down that we saw when they were playing the Buckeyes is just proof of that and testament to how involved he is at every single position. What does TCU need to do to win the game? Obviously, we've heard that their star running back, Kendre Miller, may be out.
I don't think he's going to play.
Look, obviously, they're going to have to put up points. So I'm not even going to concentrate on their offensive side of the ball right now. I think it all comes down to getting pressure on Stetson Bennett. If you can somehow get to him a few times early, maybe rattle him. Stetson Bennett has proven he has a lot of gunslinger in him. Maybe you can turn him over once or twice and then allow your quarterback, Max Duggan, to at least go capitalize on that. Even then, you find yourself up, in the best case scenario, 14? Guess who else was up at 14 on Georgia last week? So they don't have any room for error. They have to do a lot right.
I agree. Flamin' Dragon, you beat teams like Georgia with balance, because when you're balanced, they're off balance. If TCU cannot run the ball effectively, and I'm not saying they got to run for 250 yards, but if they can't threaten Georgia in the run game and they are stuck in 3rd and 6 and above, and you let those guys pin their ears back, not only the exterior pass rushers, but the interior pass rushers, and I'm not even talking about the blitz with what Schumann and them are going to do, TCU cannot survive that way. That's how you turn the ball over. You are going to have to find balance on offense, and I think you got to make a big play on special teams.
Well, I think Max Duggan's feet's going to be huge in this game, especially on third down. I mean, Georgia scored almost 40 points and then went 2 and 10 on third down, which is unheard of, right?
Yeah,
I mean, if anything, go back to the Michigan game, TCU has to be able to win in the red zone. You have to give up field goals in this game. You need an early win if you're TCU, like you got that early win in the Michigan game when you got the 4th down stop at the 2-yard line or 2 to 5 yard line, whatever that is. With the Stetson Bennett, it's pick your poison with this. If it's Stetson, I want to keep Stetson in the pocket. All right, beat me with your arm. And Stetson's been beating with people with his arms, but Stetson, I still think, is his best when he is outside the pocket. And let's not sit here and act like Georgia's not a little bit banged up. All right, Darnell Washington a little bit banged up. Lad McConkey a little bit banged up. Also, you have Brock Bowers and Mims comes back, but you don't have a huge amount of playmakers on that offense. Ohio State did make Georgia
A.D.
honor.
Mitchell coming back.
A.D. Mitchell's huge, but they did make him honor. Ohio State ran the ball 32 times, right? Average 3.5 yards a carry. Not phenomenal, but you have to.
You'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah, but you have to honor that, all right? TCU needs to be somewhat in that same vein with the amount of runs, but I want to see a lot more of Max Duggan playing quarterback runs, especially in the red zone. Yeah. Max Duggan getting outside the pocket. If you're TCU, you just want to be able to be in shooting distance in the fourth quarter to be able to win this game.
Yeah, the point I like that you made the most was withstanding that early punch like they did against Michigan. Michigan hit them for that 60-yard play on the ISO. They hold them there in the red zone. Then you get the pick six, letting you know you can stay in the fight. But Georgia's going to come out and try and throw a punch. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a couple trick plays from TCU on that first drive just to get Georgia thinking a little bit and change their eye discipline. YouTube, what's up? It's me, Jake Crane from Crane & Company. If you just now heard about us or you're just now finding out, I'm pretty sure you enjoyed the content. Subscribe, share the show. Remember, without you, there is no us.